Morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee and Lore. I'm so excited to see you guys again. Today, we are going to talk about two of my favorite classics, but we're going to break this up into a couple of videos. Today, we're going to talk about two of my favorite classics that are like your mature reads. They're going to be like older. It's not childhood classics. So I have childhood classics that I love, and then I have classics that are like, I think I read A Tale of Two Cities when I was like 14. So older, you know what I mean? Not like a kid. So the two books that we're talking about that are classics that I read over and over and over again and are fantastic is Louisa May Alcott's Little Women and Charles Dickens's A Tale of Two Cities. They both have amazing stories and developed characters, and they leave you feeling like you learned something from the book. So, yay. That's what you look for in a book, right? You want to leave a book feeling like, wow, I am mind blown by this book, or I felt something. This book made me feel. Because we all get numb in this life where we're just going forward in whatever, and we're blind to a lot of things. So you want books that make you feel. So the first book, I remember I read Little Women by Louisa May Alcott when I was probably 16 or 17 years old. This one was not for school. This was one that I read on my own. I want to say my mom had me pick it up at the library. So this story tells us the tale of the March sisters. There's four of them: Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy. And they're very different, all four of them. Meg is very vain and is very about what people think and into her appearance. Jo is the tomboy. She's a writer. I've always related the most to Jo. Beth is very meek and quiet and shy. And then Amy is just Amy. Amy is kind of the brat, maybe a little spoiled. Amy is just out there, and she's Amy and makes no apologies, and I actually really like Amy as a character. I know some people shit on Amy as a character. I like Amy as a character. So basically it tells the story of their life with their mother. While their father is mostly away, he's a chaplain in the war. And they're neighbors, and they meet Mr. Lawrence, who's an elderly neighbor of theirs, who's rather wealthy, and his grandson, who is named Laurie. And Laurie plays a major role in these four sisters' lives. I'm not going to give you away anything, but Laurie is going to play a humongous role. And it kind of just goes from adolescence to semi-adulthood with the four sisters. Beth's health issues come into play a lot because Beth does get scarlet fever during one point because of going to help a poor family that has been racked with scarlet fever. So Little Women is literally just an amazing story about family and friendship and these four sisters and how they get through their life, and it's on the backdrop of Massachusetts, and it's really well written and really well done for the time period that they're living in. A Tale of Two Cities. Oh wow, A Tale of Two Sillies. A Tale of Two Cities is by Charles Dickens, and it is my favorite Dickens book. I know there is some sentimental value to A Christmas Story, but A Tale of Two Cities will always be my favorite Charles Dickens book. And it takes place during the French Revolution. Well, like the start of it, the cusp of it, the feel is there of the French Revolution. And you meet Dr. Manette, who has been imprisoned for a very long time, I believe 18 years, wrongly imprisoned, and he's reborn. This story is all about rebirth, and that is what Charles Dickens is trying to get through in this story. So Mr. Manette, his daughter's name is Lucy, and she's 18, and she's now his caretaker as he's some issues, some health issues. He's a little weak from his 18-year prison sentence. And I love the visions that Charles Dickens paints in this book. He's amazing at really making you feel like you're in this French town during this time of unrest and of desperation. And Lucy meets two really important male characters, Sydney Carton and Charles Darnay. And these two gentlemen are seriously important and are life-changing for Lucy for many reasons. Sydney Carton in this book, or Carton, makes the best speech at the very end. He makes an incredible self-sacrifice. You can learn a lot from the Sydney Carton character in this book. He makes that infamous speech, "Is not what I do for myself, but it is what I can do for my country." It's an incredible book. That really gives you a sense and a feel for the French people during the French Revolution. And it's got some love story in it. It's got history in it. So you know it's one of my top faves, because that's what I love. That's what I'm passionate about, is when you can take a historical time period, make me feel like I am there, and also throw a little romance in it. I'm sold, if you would. So those are my two favorite classic books that I read as a older youth to adult. Like I said, I'm going to do a video on my favorite children's classics, because I do have a couple of favorite children's classics as well, and we're going to talk about those. But for today, what are you guys reading? Because I am loving this channel.